Task number 2, hash functions. This is part of the hash basics room in TryHackMe. What is a hash function? Hash functions are different from encryption. There is no key. This is, let's say, the main difference of hashing and encryption. Encryption has key and a key to encrypt and decrypt. And hashing is just a fixed length string. There is no key. There is no key, and it's meant to be impossible or computationally impractical to go from the output back to the input. A hash function takes some input data of any size and creates a summary or digest of that data. The output has a fixed size. It's hard to predict the output for any input and vice versa. Good hashing algorithms will be relatively fast to compute and prohibitively slow to reverse, that is, go from the output and determine the input. Any slight change in the input data, even a single bit, should cause a significant change in the output. Let's check an example. In the terminal below we can see two files. The first contains the letter T while the second contains the letter U. If you check T and U in an ASCII table or using hex dump, you will notice that the two letters differ by a single bit. The letter T is 54 in hexadecimal, that is this number in binary. The letter U is 55 in hex, that is this number in binary. In binary you see 4 letters because there is 8 bits in 1 byte. Consequently, the following two files differ by a single bit. However, if we compare their MD5 message digest algorithm 5 hashes, their SHA-1 secure hash algorithm 1 hashes, or their SHA-256 secure hash algorithm 256 hashes, we will notice that they are entirely different. We recommend that you try the commands below yourself. The files are located in the following path. We will try them right about now. We are going to home user hashing basics task number 2. In here we see file 1 and file number 2. We get inside file 1, we see here it displays a bit strange, and then we get file 2 for U. So file 1 has T, file 2 has U. And now we use hex dump with the flag -c, and here we can see the output. And now let's use hex dump -c for file 2. It looks exactly the same like in TryHackMe. But now if we check the MD5 sum for, it looks like every text file in our directory, we will see them. They are absolutely different, right? Then we check also the SHA-1 sum of all text documents in our current directory. Again, we have a totally different output. And finally, we check the SHA-256 sum for all text documents inside our directory, which again will display a totally different output. The output of hash functions is typically raw bytes, which are then encoded. Common encodings are base64 or hexadecimal. MD5, SHA-1, and SHA-256 and SHA-512 produce their outputs in hexadecimal format. Remember, the hexadecimal format prints each raw byte by 2 hexadecimal digits. Why is hashing important? Hashing plays a vital role in our daily use of the internet. Like other cryptographic functions, hashing remains hidden for the user. Hashing helps protect data's integrity and ensure password confidentiality. Consider this example of hashing being used to protect your cybersecurity. When you log in to try Hack Me, the server uses hashing to verify your password. In fact, as per good security practice, a server does not record your password. It records the hash value of your password. Whenever you want to log in, it will calculate the hash value of the password you submitted with the recorded hash value. Similarly, when you log into your computer, hashing plays a role in verifying your password. You interact more indirectly with hashing than you would think, and almost daily in the context of passwords. What's a hash collision? This is inevitable. A hash collision is when two different inputs give the same output. Hash functions are designed to avoid collisions as best as possible. Furthermore, hash functions are designed to prevent an attacker from being able to create, that is, engineer a collision intentionally. However, because the number of inputs is practically unlimited, the number of possible outputs is limited. This leads to a pigeonhole effect, meaning that we can input unlimited data, but the output of hashing is limited. As a numeric example, if a hash function produces a 4-bit hash value, we only have 16 different hash values. The total number of possible hash values is 2 to the power of number of bits, which equals to 2 to the power of 4, 16. The probability of collision is relatively very high. The pigeonhole effect states that the number of items, or pigeons in our case, is more than the number of containers, pigeonholes. Some containers must hold more than one item. In other words, in this context, there are a fixed number of different output values for a hash function, but you can give it any size input. As there are more inputs than outputs, some inputs more inevitably give the same output. If you have 21 pigeons and 16 pigeonholes, some of the pigeons are going to share the pigeonhole. Consequently, collisions are unavoidable. However, a good hash function ensures that the possibility of a collision is negligible. MD5 and SHA-1 has been attacked and are now considered insecure due to the ability to engineer hash collision. However, no attack has yet given a collision in both algorithms simultaneously. So if you compare the MD5 and SHA-1 hash, you will see that they're different. You can view the MD5 collision example in here. Furthermore, you can read the details of the SHA-1 collision attack in here. Due to this, you shouldn't trust either algorithm for hashing passwords or data. So MD5 collision, you can find it over here, mscs.dal.ca, Salinger MD5 collision, and SHA-1 collision shatter.io. What is the SHA-256 hash of the password.jpg file? We see the JPEG over here. It's the same process. SHA-256, some of our every JPEG inside here, which is the only file, is our passport picture. What is the output size in bytes of the MD5 hash function? An MD5 hash is always a fixed length, 128 bits, which is 16 bytes. If we go back over here, as a numeric example, if a hash function produces a 4-bit hash value, we only have 16 different hash values. The total number of possible hashes is 2 to the power of number of bits. 2 to the power of 4 is 16. If you have an 8-bit hash output, how many possible hash values are there? So it's 2 to the power of 8. 2 to the power of 8, 256.